Ah, yes, indeedy. Ladies and gentlemen, you have joined us for Game 2 of this best of 5 series. This is the grand finals of the North American Steel Series, brought to you by UGC League, UGCLeague.com. If you like UGC and you want to learn more about the United Gaming Clans, take a look at those little buttons underneath the stream. There's a Facebook button, there's a Twitter button, there's a website button, and there's all kinds of other buttons. Click them. You might like what you have, because as you know, Season 2 is coming upon us. Sign-ups are now live. You can join us for the Season 2 tournament, which is going to be bigger and better than anything UGC has put out previous. As always, you are flying high in the Dota 2 Killcopter. I am your host, Brushfire, and I am joined here by my aerial gunner, Joojkins Joe Star, Technoman, my analyst, and my statsman, the ever-absent, ever-omnipresent Mr. Bad Guy. First ban phase has finished with third-tier gaming banning out Doom and Faceless Void, while Heart TZ bans out Lycan and Death Prophet. First pick to Tidehunter on third-tier gaming. Gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Very good.
And so far it's been pretty much, same band so far, same pick.
10 seconds remaining.
So I wouldn't be surprised.
No,
Okay,
sir.
fine.
Not the same pick. We're gonna have some Kunkka hype here in Heart TZ, and they're gonna answer that age-old question: what would you do with the drunken sailor?
Dire team pick.
Throw him at Tidehunter, clearly.
Yeah, and then they just pick the Razor again.
Yeah. Well, the meta deck is pretty concise as to what it contains, and we see a couple of trade-ins here or there, but I would expect pretty similar picks, but maybe a different strategy as far as how they're played. I think Tidehunter, as beefy as he is, was one of their better performing picks last game. He had a couple, but he had to be really particular about how and when he used them because a Rubik was on the field.
He definitely needed to know when to hold him, know when to fold him, and fold him he did quite a bit. He was very crucial in a lot of those team fights, and he was one of the reasons why that game went as long as it did.
I don't think he used that fold'em metaphor properly.
Yeah, they fold them in half, the back way, so their spine erupts.
Okay.
Well, I'm gonna just skip that. Pass, go next.
The Viper pickup is actually, in my opinion, very good against Kunkka. Assuming that the Kunkka does go mid, which would make the most sense.
5 seconds remaining.
And this is actually pretty good against Razor, too.
I'd love to see some awesome Kunkka play. There's been a lot of sort of chicanery that's coming out of his X marks the spot and blink daggers.
We're going to get a ban out of Shadow Shaman and Lich on
Lich
third-tier
ban?
gaming. Yes, sir, a Lich ban. Third-tier gaming is going to ban out the Lich. We're going to see an AA ban as well, harkening back to the days when the Invoker AA ban was the first thing you would see during any professional game. Brewmaster getting the ban on Heart TZ as their 4th ban. Now we're going to see their 3rd and 4th picks. Gentlemen, who do you think we're going to see after that Dazzle pickup by Heart TZ?
Dazzle.
Meepo?
Oh.
Meppo?
I don't know with these guys.
The Lich ban is out. There's no Chronospheres to worry about walking into.
Lich is terrible against Meepo.
His ultimate's not.
Yeah, it is. He has a terrible win rate against Meepo. Statsman, what's his win rate against Meepo? He told it to us last game, and I got to shove it in Technoman's face because he was wrong then and he's wrong now.
Who's win rate against who?
Meepo versus Lich.
Meepo's win rate versus Lich.
Alright, yeah. Give me a sec.
Third-tier gaming picks up Earthshaker as their 3rd pick.
10 seconds.
So who do we think Heart TZ is going to pick up for their 4th?
I have no idea at this point. They're sort of all over the map, and it's hard to counterpick them. I think we're seeing the makings of a tri-lane.
With the Rubik again, it had a lot of success last game.
Yeah, especially with Earthshaker and Tidehunter on the board. He was really good at making sure they had to choose when to use their ultimates.
Over in we're gonna see a Drow Ranger pickup by HeartTZ. Over in chat, Lukewool is saying that this is a roaming support Kunkka. He promises.
Well,
so
I've seen the roaming support Kunkka before. It's not very impressive, so I kind of hope it's not.
what are you expecting with
saying
the
no?
Lich Meepo?
Just the win rate between the two.
Win rate, just
What
win
are
rate.
you expecting though?
Much higher than Meepo is what I'm expecting. They're expecting
think
Meepo
it's
greater
a,
than Lich.
5 seconds
70-30
remaining.
split in favor of Meepo.
Meepo has the
Reserve
advantage
time.
by 65.22%.
Wow.
Oh, so I was pretty close.
Yeah,
But you still win
I
over,
vote
so Price is Right rules means you don't win.
Dave, I'm
Yeah, I'm
gonna remove you from existence.
Statsman officially declares Joojkins the winner. That is all.
Ding, ding.
Is he at 65% win rate? Is that the
He has
deal?
a
Or is he
65%
65 points higher? Like, are we talking Lich has a 20% win rate against Meepo? Or are we talking Meepo has a 65% win rate against
Of
Lich?
all games played between Lich and Meepo, Meepo has a 66.22% win rate over Lich.
Okay.
Outrageous.
Out of 100.
Now, what do we think of that Drow Ranger pickup, Logs?
I like it because
Okay.
Drow Ranger games are usually pretty fun to watch. But
I think she's going to get eaten alive by Viper Earthshaker.
I don't know if it's like the smartest pick.
She's got the
You know what-
silence,
you know what?
so that's
Let me
nice.
think about this. Razor's probably their mid. So if the Kunkka rumors are true, this is a Drow Dazzle
10
Kunkka
seconds
lane.
remaining.
We're going to see a
That's very good
Lion
pick.
pickup,
against Drow.
Lion pickup, third tier gaming for their penultimate. We have two picks remaining in this draft. Who do you think we're going to see fall? Who do you think we're going to see lifted?
I think that
10 seconds remaining.
third tier gaming would be wise to ban out the Rubik.
Ban
5
Marana,
seconds remaining.
Why ban? Why ban Marana?
because she's a
You don't
decent
wanna see
carry.
her.
The spear sets up well with some of the other heroes. Her leap means Earthshaker can't screw her up.
Her ulti does allow
The
Tidehunter
ultimate
to
is
get
good
in position.
initiation.
Yeah. Her ulti will let
I
Tidehunter
don't
get in
see
position.
Marana getting picked here.
We're
see
going
a
to get
Weaver
rid of
ban
the
out?
Weaver.
Team
HeartTZ
back.
banning out Weaver. Good times. No more Immortal Bug to worry about.
I think that's pretty.
With Drow
smart.
Silence, I'm not sure. Now, they don't have a really good stun.
Yep, they did ban the Rubik.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, they don't really have much stun going on. Just the Kunkka.
And they have the slow from Dazzle that eventually becomes a stun.
A Huskar
Oh
pickup.
my,
Team pick.
wow.
Really? We here at the Dota
I don't-
Killcopter
I
are
don't-
now completely stunned.
He's a good counter to Viper and to Beef because of his ultimate.
You see,
It's really not that great a counter to Viper.
You see
Uh,
Logs?
Viper's Nether Toxin is a physical damage, and it does more damage to him based
10
on how much
seconds
damage,
remaining.
how much health he has. It does more damage the less health he
5
has,
seconds
and it's physical,
remaining.
so it's just gonna kill Huskar really fast.
Right,
Yeah.
but when you cleave half of
Reserve
Viper's
time.
health off, that means there's less damage that you have to do to
5
kill
seconds
Viper, so
remaining.
fewer
Yes,
stacks
that
of
is how
toxin.
his ultimate works.
And a
But
final
it's
pickup
not gonna be enough.
on third tier gaming is going to go to Templar Assassin.
You
This
know,
has been a silly draft.
I think third tier has a much better at countering draft, but I said that last game and it didn't matter. RTZ is my wife who played their draft so flawlessly that, I mean, they just won and pretty much had the game in their pocket for most of it. So
Now,
I don't
real quick,
know what to say about
I'm going to
this.
cut you off there real quick because there is some controversy going on in the chat. Major Devon says that Meepo has a 39.15 win rate against Lich. Now, I'm not sure what stats our statsman is using, but I would assume that it's on the up and up.
Well, I'm gonna say no.
Like, Lich is a known counter for Meepo. Like, the win rate sounds really, really weird to me.
Regardless of all of that, let's go on our teams and see what we have here in this Game 2 of this Best of 5 series. Over on the Radiant side, we're going to have Lememur XD, who's going to be playing your Huskar. Blind will be on his Drow Ranger. Dynamosaurus will be playing Razor. Defigikiki, your your Kunkka. And then finally, Dazzle will be played by Rock, Paper, Scissors Champion.
Alright, citing Dota buff, Meepo is worst against Lich by 5.3 percentage points. So I was right.
Alrighty, so who do we have on the Radiant side logs?
Over on the Radiant side, we have Lememur XD on the Huskar, Dynamosaurus on the Razor, Rock, Paper, Scissors Champion.
I said the Dire side.
You said?
No, you said Radiant.
Oh, I already did the Radiant side, so do the Dire side.
Alright, on the Dire side, you sure Dire side this time?
Yes, I'm sure. 100%,
Alright.
let's do this.
On the Dire side, we have Private Ryan on the Earthshaker, Heaven's Cloud on the Lion, Fish on the Templar Assassin, Binhamin again on the Tidehunter, and Mark on the Viper.
It's Mark with a C.
Or I could just say Mark.
Yeah, I know you could. Let's put the last hit denies up on the old screen there and see what happens here in this game.
I'm not about that free endorsement life.
Now, Kunkka is rocking the Thrift Shop set, as known by Kunkamore, which is my favorite recording artist here in Dota.
Oh, the Macklemore set?
Yes.
Yeah, he's got the Macklemore Kunkka going on. I love the sword off that.
Now, my question is, why don't they call it the Mackerel more? Because he's a fisher.
Because
that would be terrible.
That would be a terrible joke.
Behaman walks into
go
the
to jail.
woods. Defigikiki and Rock, Paper, Scissors Champion will give chase.
He's gonna dodge the torrent.
Very well done, but Behaman dips down to half HP after Defigikiki and Rock, Paper, Scissors Champion put off a fairly competent ambush.
Yeah, the Anchor Smash as level 1 made that a little rougher than it probably needed to be. He could have gone Kraken Shell instead, but then he wouldn't have anything to help him with last hitting creeps.
If he had taken Kraken Shell, he would have taken pretty much no damage from the Poison Touch, and he would have just been fine.
Yep. They're playing an aggressive support with Dazzle, and it looks like maybe a jungle Kunkka. No.
Yeah, they use the Kunkka to pull the lane, and he uses his splash to farm the creeps. It works. I'm not crazy about it.
Well, nobody missed that one.
Yes, indeed.
He doesn't have splash yet. He's
Yeah, he's got to start with the torrent.
Oh, they're gonna see the Sentry Ward here. Yeah, they know.
Very well placed counter ward.
Fish is gonna pick up this this illusion rune. It's really gonna help out her farm mid. She's up against this Razor. Razor's actually got the lead, which is a little weird.
Yeah, he's only got the lead by 2 right now, which, Razor can snowball, but I do think Fish, since she has Bottle now, she's going to be a lot better off later down the road.
She's definitely got the better potential for lane dominance here, especially with the rune control they have.
Denied.
Yeah, I have a feeling the only reason she's behind in last hits is because Razor keeps stealing her damage.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually, I don't know that he's really been all that successful with the stealing.
He's gotten a couple here and there, but
know what?
Not enough to
You know what it actually probably is? It's that Razor has the precision aura, so he's got a little bit of extra damage.
Yeah. And out of curiosity, if he static links her and she melds, he loses sight of her, but does that break the meld?
Does not break it. Only distance breaks it.
Yep.
Or
lost 14 damage there in lane. Dynamosaurus does have a little bit more on top of his precision aura. However, he's now tied with last hits, and then with that, Fish is going to move into the lead.
Lememur XD was actually forced completely out of lane. He's got to walk back to base.
It's almost like the very short range of Huskar is a terrible idea for an offlaner against a tri-lane that's super aggressive.
It's almost like Viper's really good against Huskar.
How about that? You know, over in bottom lane, Bahamut is going to get hit with the poison touch, dipping down very far. 190 HP, 175, 142. That thing is such a long dot. If Blind had got maybe 2 more auto attacks in, they would have secured first blood right there.
Maybe a little more than that. He had about 100 HP left, and the auto attacks early are not very great.
No, if Blind had gotten those auto attacks, 2 more would have been enough. You forget it's a drow.
Right. That precision aura. Just stupid early damage. For everybody!
Every ranged hero.
Every ranged hero. Well, most of their heroes are ranged.
Except for the Kunk.
Yeah. Yep. Razor is ranged. I forget that, because the whip looks kind of melee-ish, but it's actually a projectile that's fired with a visual effect.
Yeah. It's pretty short range, though. Though
Yep.
I don't think it's as short as Luna.
Rotation coming out from bottom lane. Defigigiki and Rock, Paper, Scissors Champion teaming up with Dynamosaurus. They're going to try to catch Fish. Fish will have to pop an invisibility rune to get out of there. The Sentry Ward does come up from Radiant's side, and then they're going to end up having to disengage after all that. They lost sight of her, so they weren't able to take it. However, Dynamosaurus did steal 105 damage from Templar Assassin.
Yeah, that's pretty rough as a Templar Assassin when you can't actually do anything. But she did pick up another rune, and looks like she's going to use it right now.
She's going to charge bottom. She's probably going to try and take out Blind.
She's going to catch Defigigiki? No, but they're going to
She's going
see
straight for
her.
Blind.
Yep. Blind knows she's in trouble.
Huskar's going to be able to pick up first blood. Fish comes in, getting ready for Blind. Blind going
Blind's
down
dead.
hard. Blind is so dead right there. Lots of crits, lots of death right there. It's going to be a 1 for 2 across these both teams. Sorry we missed first blood on that when we were looking at that Blind run dash that happened mid lane. But Huskar was able to achieve first blood. So hey, don't underestimate him.
Radiant's
Yeah,
bottom tower is
the
under attack.
Radiant Ward here was sort of... The way it's positioned, it only sees fog down through here.
Exactly.
And because Templar Assassin swung up this way, like, there was no warning until it was about too late.
Yeah, there was just not enough. It was like you're outside, there's a storm brewing, and then suddenly a tornado happened because your town is woefully unprepared.
No, it's more like you're watching for
Mid,
You know-
Dazzle's getting wrecked.
a tornado and
Shallow
then a
grave, a hurricane. Shallow grave happens. It's going to be enough to save him. He pops the sab to get off. He will escape though. Fish trying to pick him off with a ward trap to keep him nice and slow. Will not. Razor comes out, picks up Earthshaker and Fish after all that. Bahamut now being chased. Dynamosaurus will not be able to close the distance. Instead, we'll just have to focus back on farming.
Nice Kunkka Torrent catches out the Lion, but it's not who he wants. He really wanted to get the Tidehunter.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Dazzle's actually a hugely good counter to Templar Assassin, because the Poison Touch just eats refraction charges
Dire's
off.
bottom tower is under attack.
Huskar's actually doing way better than I expected against this Viper.
Well, over in chat, it was Kelsuria,
Dire's
a
bottom tower
UGC
is under
regular, who
attack.
said that I like the Huskar pick, but it's terrible for this team comp. What do you have to say to that?
I completely agree with him.
But
Yeah,
even you gotta
I'll
admit
agree.
that it's
Bottom
working
tower
out
is
for
under
Heart TZ
attack.
so far.
Well, it makes sense because of the fact that he cleaves off like a huge amount of the
Hold
enemy's
the phone,
health.
bottom lane, bad stuff is happening. Blind gets hit by the,
Dire's middle tower is under
excuse me, the
attack.
shallow grave. It's not going to be enough to save him though as he goes down. They're going for the Fish. Fish is melded. Oh, Lamimer trying to burn down Mark. He will get popped. Then Fish goes on Rock Paper Scissors Champion, and that's going to be a 3-for-none exchange between these two teams. Huge pickup for Fish in that one.
Out of curiosity, what the hell was Drow doing? Shallow graved and just sort of like ran up here and went around over here, then died.
Well, you
Like,
see, when you're in this area, there are only a couple of escape routes, one being directly at your enemy. You don't want to go towards your base because that's certain doom. That's going to be a little skull with crossbones.
right, like, there's
So
like...
rock paper scissors champion is just getting done.
Yes, he will get dove hard. Heaven's Clouds gets the nice impale off. Lion's going to pick up that last hit there. Mark with a C and Fish on the assist, and they're going to go for a tier 1 here in bottom lane. Torrent goes up, doesn't catch anybody but a crep.
Like, if you're shallow graved and you don't expect to survive it, and you're a drow, at least throw out some damage. Like,
Okay.
like-
Please take a look at Huskar's items.
I saw he's got, now
Oh.
4
Now
bracers.
4 bracers.
Last time I looked, he was at 3.
I looked at 3 bracers and I was like, oh, this is dumb. I'll bring this up the next chance I get. Next chance I get, I look and he has 4.
4 bracers. Huskar, what are you doing, buddy?
He's going
We've
super
got an X-Marks
stats.
spot out on Mark right now in bottom lane. The silence wave goes out, hits Heaven's Cloud. Heaven's Cloud will be popped out of this team fight for the most part. Then he fishes Huskar. Blind now being the focus of it as Fish closes the distance real quick. Blind's in a bad spot. Defijigiki was going to throw out the Torrent, but it's not going to be enough as Fish will meld pick off Blind. Defijigiki, Jukes for days. He's trying to get away. The Earthshaker ult, or excuse me, not the Earthshaker ulti. The Fisher comes out of Earthshaker. They're going to pick up another. That's 3 for 1. Third tier gaming, not taking any prisoners this time around. They are out for blood. They are out for a series tie-up. They want to make sure this game is not this series is not going to be a 3 for none.
Actually, that was 3 for 2. The Lion dropped there too, but he's already back up.
Middle tower has fallen.
Lion got picked up by Drow, and so did the Viper, if I recall correctly.
This Huskar build, it's so weird.
I think he's just stacking HP so that he can deal with Viper and not get, like, eaten down by the acid, but so quickly.
I think he's trolling.
I don't think so, not with what's on the line.
No, I think he's trolling.
Like, I've seen this build on Crystal Maiden. It's, you know, if you're having a
Terrible.
bad game and you want to stack stats, like, cheap item that you can buy a bunch of quickly.
Or instead of doing that, you could just buy a single bracers and then make it into a drums.
Well, say
And
what
it's
you
way
want
better.
about Huskar's build. They
bottom
did just
tower
take a
has
second
fallen.
tower. That's a tier 1 over in bottom lane, so they are continuing to keep the map in their
Radiant's
favor.
middle tower is
Do you
under
think
attack.
maybe they have the Dazzle Huskar combo? Is that what they're thinking about doing? Like,
I
put
don't-
the Shallow Grave on the Huskar and just let him chunk people?
Oh. Rock, paper, scissors champion in a bad spot. He's going to get starting to drain. He will mechanism out of it. Dynamo Source is going to get hit by the Fisher as well as Rock, paper, scissors champion. They have no retreat at the moment, though. Private Ryan juking around the tree will get caught out. Throws the Echo Slam to try to pick off Dynamo Source. No, he will not. He will go down right there. Meanwhile, Blind is being chased by Fish and Mark and Heaven's Cloud. That's going to be all there. She's going to try to take out Heaven's Cloud. She will not be able to put out the damage in time. That's going to be a 4-for-1 exchange between Heart TZ and third tier gaming.
Well,
13
the thing
to
you
8
were-
right now.
The thing you were asking about, Jenkins, the Dazzle Huskar combo actually
Dire's top
was
tower is under
only
attack.
worked with the old form of Berserker's Blood, where he got additional damage with his lost stacks of health,
Dire's top tower
because
is
then
under
he
attack.
could actually chunk people at low health. Now he's just tankier at low health.
Right. He's working pretty hard on Berserker's Blood, but it's not really helping him a whole lot.
Now,
Well,
quick to
it's-
point out, while we were not looking, they did pick up the tier 2 in bottom lane. Get my geography wrong every now and then. They did pick that up during that woeful 4-for-1 exchange. So even still, Heart TZ continues to lead in gold. They're barely scraping by an XP, but they do have map control right now.
I think that's the Drow shining through. Once she gets like 1 or 2 levels of marksmanship, it's stupid how much damage she does to a tower when left alone.
Hmm.
So I think that's what you're seeing is just her being able to push towers. Though right now she has a magic stick, not a wand, a stick, a ring of Aquila, and power treads. This is not a very well farmed drow.
Although she just picks up her
Mask of Madness. Mask of Madness.
Her mom.
Yeah, she picked up her mom at the mall.
From the airport. Oh, up top lane. Lemimir going in on Beanie Hammond. The Ravage comes out, but it's not going to be enough as Lemimir is going to bring him down. The mechanism comes off, and they are going to save Lemimir from certain death.
Big panics from the Tidehunter. That was a big waste of an ult.
Yeah, it's tragic, and he's got 136 seconds left until that thing comes back on cooldown. So this is a great opportunity for Heart TZ.
Yep, looks like they're just going to do what they've been doing. They're going to push towers, and they're going to pull everyone from 3TG here to sort of deal with them.
The Mask of Madness gets popped on blind. They are going to try to push down this tier 1. It's going to go down. They have plenty of creep wave. They have plenty of attack speed coming out of blind. She just does so much damage when there's no other heroes around on the enemy team. Just absolute bonkers.
Yeah, one wave, not even a siege minion, and like that's it, it's gone. From almost full health, if not full health.
Third tier will answer back with a tier 1 takedown on bottom lane though.
Tier 1 for tier 1's an okay trade, but not great.
It's not great when you've already lost a tier 2 in that lane.
Oh, Drow sneaking around behind, but not going to be able to get the frost shot off in time.
We'll pop our Mask of Madness to try to escape out of there. Very well done, Bohemian, wasting an anchor smash, but whatevs. It comes off like a 2-second cooldown. Now we have a circle around coming out from Fish. Fish is running so fast. Instead of going towards the enemy, just wander off. I think he might have missed that. That is tragic.
Yep, they seeing a counter push out of top here from Dire. 3TG is going to start looking to take their own tier 1s, and they really need to, honestly, in order to keep things equalized. But right now it looks like we're going to see a tier 1 almost trying to trade for a tier 2.
And they're going to fortify their structures as well. The entire creep wave is gone. They are just going to start wailing on this tier 2 in mid lane. There's nothing that's going to stop them. They're going to get it down. They do have a fortification on Dire, but it's just not going to be quick enough. They're going to lose a tier 2. That's a second tier 2 in mid lane.
A tier 1 for a tier 2 is a good trade in Radiant's favor.
Yeah, especially since it's a top tier 1 for Heart TZ, which is
meh.
It's
not very useful.
It's an expendable tower.
Yeah,
indeed.
The mid lane is definitely where you want to be taking your free towers, because that's the lane where if they screw up and lose a team fight, you can easily just push up mid and take a Rax, especially with Drow. If they take one good team fight, that's pretty much a free Rax so long as she's still standing.
Well, you gotta think about it. It's the age-old adage: the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line, and look at what a straight line it is. But don't
that's your best straight line you can draw?
Shut your face.
It's so not straight. It's an underline. There we go. That one's better.
It's got a little snake part up here, but we're okay with that.
It's okay. That's about what the pathfinding in this game seems to show anyways. Drow is going to pick up a Ghost Scepter. Kind of necessary. She's getting totally face rolled by Templar Assassin whenever there's no one around, and they really don't have any sort of dedicated stun other than Kunkka, and that's not a guaranteed. So it's been worthwhile, I think, for her to pick up a Ghost Scepter.
Yeah, the fact that Kunkka's stun is just hard to hit with and make work for
Boat's
you.
going out. Bark's getting stunned. They're gonna go for the Viper. Oh, the Ravage comes out from Behemoth. Oh man, they are trying for this Fish down so far. Husker giving chase. Lemimir trying to pick it up. There will be the kill on Fish. Fish is down the Shallow Grave, coming out on Dynamosaurus. Razor is going to get saved. Earthshaker is going to go down. They still have buyback on all 3 heroes that have died so far. Blind goes in to try to stop Heaven's Cloud. Heaven's Cloud getting slowed so far. The Silence Wave coming out. Blind is chasing. Oh, it's over for Heaven's Cloud. He is going to go down as well. Melt like a stick of butter on a hot breakfast plate. He is done right there. Tidehunter.
Hey, look, a good team fight. And Drow's still up, and they're in range to take mid. Look for buybacks in 3, 2, 1.
Dire's middle tower is
I'd
under
wait
attack.
for buybacks.
Oh, you look
come
like
on.
a fool now. They still have a fortification, sir.
That's true, and there we go.
There's the fortification. Viper is
Dire's
now off a
middle
cooldown. They're
tower
going
is
to
under
back
attack.
up instead. Possibly go for a Roshan here as they have complete map dominance.
Yeah, the death timers just weren't quite long enough to warrant a buyback, but I still expected them anyway. It's sort of a panic, but these players know what they're doing and when to prioritize. So.
And over in chat, someone has said a good joke for once. A tier 1 for a tier 2 is a good exchange. He says, "Thank you, John Madden."
Yes. John Madden. Oh, I'm sorry. Hold on. Let me do an appropriate John Madden. John Madden. There we go. That's the mushroom cloud of the tower exploding.
Here's a guy who, when he says an obvious comment, he says an obvious comment. Boom.
Yes. Thank you. Tough acting to Nacton.
That's tough acting with an I in apostrophe. Ulti goes out on Rock, Paper, Scissors champion from Mark with a C. The boat comes out. It's going to stun 3. Lemimir gets shallow grave. He's starting to wail on Fish. Fish can't do anything. He's silenced. He is silenced right there. Earthshaker goes down right after. That's a 3 for none. With Huskar almost dying twice during that fight. Bohemian was going to get hit by an ice arrow. He is going to go down as well. He can't do anything about it. He tries for the anchor smash. Doesn't do anything for him. That's another one in the bag for Heart TZ.
Viper is surviving here, but he's trailing up the side, and even with the illusions. Wow, his illusions are going to get chunked by the Satyr. Satyr MVP.
And that is going to be the tier 3 Blitzkrieg strategy still working for Heart TZ, even though they have the odd Bodkins Lemimir build with 4 bracers and a Heaven's Halberd.
Yeah, but who needs, like, any real items when you can have Dazzle Shallow Grave you and let your own near-deathness power your way to victory?
He did just pick up a Sanj, so he's doing all right for himself.
So now he's
Dire's
just going to
top
stack
tower is
Sanches.
under attack.
You know, that'd be amazing. I would have to give him rares if he stacked Sanges.
We're going to hold you to that, you know that,
Dire's
right?
top tower
Yeah,
is
So
that's fine.
if he gets 2 Sanjes, we're going to hold you to it.
He's
Tier
already
2.
got 2 Sanches.
He went Heaven's Halberd.
Dire's top
Oh
tower
yeah,
has
sure enough.
fallen.
Maybe he's trying to stack Heaven's Halberds. Oh.
That's not
That's
how that
actually
works.
probably what he's trying to do. I guarantee it.
We'll see.
That is
Let's see.
ridiculous. Tier 2 going down in top lane. There is nothing left on the field. It's going to be Turtle Heaven here for 3rd tier gaming now.
Roche is up, and Dire will have, you know, a heads up when this happens. Oh, Ethereal Blade is now up on Drow.
Oh,
I'm
dang.
kind of wondering what she plans to do with that, because where's the magic damage coming from that she wants to amplify on someone, or is she just planning to use it as a save when Templar Assassin targets somebody else?
I think she's trying to use it as a shotgun.
A
Because
shotgun.
of her high, you know, agility. But
I think it's more of a she can ethereal anyone who's on
Yep,
her own
yep,
team.
he's stacking Heaven's Halberds.
This is amazing. This is the best build. I hope this shows up on Dota Buff and people come and look at, you know, how do I build Huskar, and they see like, oh, well, they went Bracer stack into Heaven's Halberd stack.
There are no flaws.
None.
They-
No flaws.
Nothing wrong with this build whatsoever.
Now, my question is, why haven't either of these teams tried to capitalize on Roshan right now? I know
It's really risky. That's
it
why.
is risky, but it's a high-risk, high-reward kind of situation that both of these teams are in.
Well,
it's a higher
it's the
reward
highest
for 3TG. It's not so high risk.
Oh, that
for-
poison was just enough to get Fish out of there. The refraction charges were not enough to save her. As Huskar leaps in, Kunkel will seal the deal, but Lemimir did all the work on that one.
Well, the Torrent is really good against Templar too because it doesn't apply all of its damage in one hit either.
Yeah, it does half the damage in a single tick, and then the rest over several.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed. Now, Blind is going to go after Roshan all by his lonesome. Lemimir coming in for backup shortly after. Blind did pop his Mask of Madness to get Roche down to about half health, and they're going to easily pick up this Roshan.
Yeah, I think we just got our answer. That was a really bold move by our TZ Heart, because one good Blink Dagger on a Tidehunter or even on the Earthshaker, and that could have been a really disastrous place to get caught out.
Well, only Tidehunter has a Blink Dagger.
Double Halberd is up on Huskar, by the way.
And Mr. Lemimir has drawn a sperm on the battlefield and then wrote the word sperm.
Lovely.
It's great. Loving the creative artist, you know, coming out
It's good to know that if Lemimir fails at a Dota career, he can always, you know,
fall back on his degree from the Arts Institute of New York. There goes the Echo Slam into the Ravage. That's going to be Tidehunter trying to stop off everything. The boat comes in, hits 4 though. Private Ryan down. Earthshaker down. That's going to be the GG right there. Bahamut is going to go down. That's a 4-man for none exchange with just
If Lemimir hurries, he might be able to buy one more Sange.
No, he was not able to. That's going to be all she wrote in that match. A final score of 23-13, 10 kills was the difference between these two teams at the 23-minute mark, with Heart TZ taking out yet another victory. They are 2-0 in this best of 5 series. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go here in just a moment into Game 3. Stick around. We got more UGC action coming.